All right. The founder of RTT Construction Group, Ms. Thato, born and raised here in Bloemfontein, Free State. She's a mother of 3, a sister, and a mentor to many. For more than a decade, qualified in sales and marketing, she has made a presence felt in the business sector towards the progress of development in the sectors that she operates in. In venturing into automotive, culinary, tourism industries, she has expanded her reach into other provinces, not only she and Bloem, but Gauteng, Northern Cape, and other African countries. So you talk about a global brand, a global business, you talk about Thato. Having founded a woman-led business chamber, PWCCI, it's an NPO, and as a motivational speaker on youth, women, disabled, she has done amazing work. She's coming to speak to us today on how to be a strategic thinker. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. But how do you do it? A mogul, it's so good to see you. Like, I've been seeing you from afar. I'm like, one day is one day. And here you are. You know, when I mentioned your name, people said, whoa, she's with us in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, please can we put our hands together for the one and only Thato to speak on how to be a strategic thinker. As she comes on stage. Come on, Bloem. Come on, Free State. Let's put our hands together and show some love. Over to you, ma'am. The stage is yours.
Dumelang. Lekai hleng. Re teng. Phenomenal woman. Are you here? Yes. Okay, I'm glad. I think, yeah, Kalibiso ke Thato Mokhothu. I'm just waiting for my presentation. Kopa fela ba nthusa. Yeah. Since the screen is facing that way, I'm going to look at my phone because it's the same presentation, but when you can look on the screen. So before I start, I would like to thank each and everyone for coming, because remember, you could have been anywhere, but you made that choice to be here because you want to do something about your business. And not saying being here, it will automatically make your business successful. But it depends on what is it that you're going to learn. I mean, what will you be learning from? And you also implement what you are learning today. So, so on the first slide, you'll see it's about strategy because we are here for strategy. So, oh, is it working? Makes it better. So if you can just press down. Okay. Just press down. Okay, so we did speak, Ronakana, what is a strategy? Because for me to be able to think, what is my strategy for the business, I need to understand what is strategy. So, Ntate already made an exercise right now, what is a strategy, meaning you are planning for your business. But remember, we also have different businesses. And as much as we are planning, the plans can always change. So you need to be able to be flexible in terms of changing your plans, because what works today might not work tomorrow. As we have seen, COVID, the way we've been doing business, it did not work. Why? Because we are not ready for COVID, and because we didn't know there was going to be COVID. So we did not include it in our strategy. So the most important thing is having those goals and write them down and having action to say, as much as I have, that's why you have the small, like short term, medium, and long term. So those things are very important because it will enable you to say, okay, this is where my business is going. If there's anything that is not going right, it's easier to get people to assist you because you can see that at the moment, as per my plans, things are not going accordingly. So this is what I've done with my business to say, this is the plans that I have for the RTT group, because I have everything under the group, and everything that is under the group, they're under a trust. And there's a reason why there's a trust, because we, especially as black people, we need to understand why do we have to own trusts. And bearing in mind that if you're not going to protect your items, you're going to work so hard, and when they come for you, everything's going to be going like this, unlike when you have a trust. So I did work on my business strategy in terms of the group, and bear with me. So while I was working on my business strategy, obviously it's about the vision, to say what type of vision do I have for my business. So when I was establishing my vision to say, this is where when we closed our eyes, that thing that, when you were imagining your business. So when I was coming up with a vision for my business to say, this is where I see my business in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, this is my vision. But now, there comes a time where you say, but I can't do it by myself, as much as I started the business myself. So most of us, we like complaining that we went and studied, and after we studied, there's no jobs. We don't find jobs, and we stand by the streets saying, I have a degree, I have this qualification, not noticing that that degree is actually your gate to business. Because once you use that degree to say, I've studied to be an accountant, how can I use my degree to generate an income for myself? And how do I collaborate with other people to say, in my street, I know there's somebody who studied marketing, there's somebody who studied finance, and so on, all the elements that we need in order for us to build a business. And you build a company to say, when I bring your skill, then we're going to open up this company. Why? Because at the moment, businesses in township, they're struggling. Why? Because they don't have the business strategy. But now we went to study so that we can use our skills to be able to assist those same businesses. So you can't be sitting at home with your qualification and say, we don't find employment. While you can combine your skills, combine your qualification, and open up a company that will assist. You can go to NYDA to say, this is what we have combined ourselves with our diplomas, with our degrees, and we want to be able to build strategies for your database. They will see that you're coming up with something new. So because I did not study, in order for me to be able to do a strategy, I got a company that came to my business. So I hired the company Tabe M Inc. The guy is he's a consultant, and he does strategy for businesses. So meaning I did not want to now, because it depends. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you working in your business? Or are you intrapreneur? So what is it that you're doing? So I cannot be saying, okay, now I want to be the finance, I want to be the, everything of my company. But I can get those people that are working or that have qualified to be able to do that. So I got that company to say, come to my business and help me so that I can see where my business is going, because I am working, but when I see the progress, it doesn't work. Like something it's not right. So ke re kopa o tlo nthusa so that ke kgone ho bona rona where is my business going. So Tabe came, and when he came to my business, you can see number one there is Macarius Country Lodge. I think most will know that I had a lodge, and then you see Atlaham Media, RTT Construction and Consulting, Fortified Engineering, Phenomenal Woman, FBI, Tiamat, Mere Makeba, Thato M Foundation, and Thato M Brand. So this is all me. This is all me. Under the group. But you can see, as you go there, let's start with Macarius. It's a business background, the root of the problem, the current statements, targets, positioning, and the solution, which is the implementation. So he went to each and every business to say, okay, in terms of Macarius, I don't think it's working. I don't think it's going to work because firstly, it's very far. It's a good concept, but now with the type of events that you're having, most of the people comes from, from Kokasi. How are they going to get to Makarios? So it's easy to get an advice from somebody who knows what they are doing. And for me, I didn't say, but now I can pull it, man. I can pull it. I know how to do these things. I listened to say, you're going to waste your time focusing on Makarios and trying to build it, and that's going to take most of your time. So now we all have 24 hours. And let's call it as 100% of your commitments. So if I have now 10 things, on that 100%, how do you divide it? Because those things need my time, all of them. So meaning I need to divide the 100% according to those 10 things there. And if I say I'm going to give Makarios 10%, will it bring the value of what I'm contributing? Will 10% be enough? And now, from the 90% that is outstanding, I still have to share with others. And eventually, what is my core business? RTT consulting and RTT construction. So now, if already I'm sharing 10% there, Atlahan 10%, others, so meaning 10 of them is, all of them, if I give them 10, then you are overspreading yourself. Because now you are giving Makarios a 10, now I have to go to Thato M, and that time I'm thinking, Thato Foundation, I need to go to Thato M Foundation. So eventually I end up running like a headless chicken. And you end up contributing and like you have absolutely nothing to show. Why? Because Ubi, Zika, everything. But when you have a strategy, somebody who's helping you with the strategy, then they can come up with ways, and it's easy to then get people to assist you in terms of achieving any of the business's goals. So now, after doing the whole exercise, it was easy to say, the Makarios, let go of it. Why? Because now we're trying to define your strategy so that you know where are you going to focus on. I let go of Makarios. And then they say, okay, Atlahan Media, he wanted to know, what is it that you wanted to achieve? And I told him, no, I want to have a TV show, I want to have this. And that's why you could see me on TV, having my own TV program. Why? Because now we were now focusing on, okay, for you to be able to be on TV, this is what you must do. You must have a brand strategist, you must have this. Now, I'm talking about different people from him now. We need to be able to work with certain people. And it's like from me, as a strategist, I will go in and engage, but now we need to build your brand because we need to have a product to sell. So now they combine the brand, or now we are building up the Thato brand. The Thato brand will work nicely with the media. So let's combine them so that you don't have to focus, divide your attention. Then we end up combining the two. If my brand works for itself, then it's easy for me to be able to use the TV and radio or whatever it is that I'm doing in the media. Then I also believe in the power of collaboration. To say media is not my space. I have not studied media. I don't know. I just want to be on TV, but I haven't studied media. Then it's like, okay, let's find a partner who's already in the media, but who needs a market. Because when I grow a brand, so meaning you are a market. And then now una little skill. Camera, but he does not have a market. So when you're working together, now you are going to create a product. Why? Because you are bringing in your different skills. And that's what I'm saying. That's what we're supposed to be doing. What do you have? Now I have this. Let's combine and see what we come up with. So that's what happened. Now I'm in partnership with Thato Mapuleng. He used to act co-generations, but we even extended the scope from what I only wanted to achieve, because now we had to also collaborate with what he's currently doing. So it's important to believe in the power of collaboration. So, and then with Phenomenal Women and all other things, those are NPOs, and it's my passion. It's things that I do. And what Shakes was saying, when you have an NPO like your Phenomenal Woman and so on, it's difficult to be able to get through to people. Why? Because you still have those people who don't believe in Thato. Who's Thato? You know, you know, things like that. Not understanding that time. So it's very important, you must know, there will always be somebody in the which is your destiny helper. So you should never ever undermine anybody or underestimate. For me, it's nice to be underestimated because then I always produce more. But don't ever undermine anybody. And don't use anybody's experience to judge a person. Even somebody, whoever comes and say, Marimang, no, you never had that experience with that person. So have your own experience. And somebody that, at the moment, it's fine, because that's competition. But that thing, plan, you know, already you are undermining that person. So don't ever do it, because you don't know who's actually sent to assist you. You don't know who's your destiny helper. Because sometimes, when you are praying, you are doing this, and your things are not shining, your things, and because already, like, that's how we are. So now we need to start collaborating. We need to start working together. We need to break away from those things and whatever. No, it needs to end with us. And by saying we are all going to come together and see how do we bring our strategies together to build and create the Kasi that we want. It's possible, like KB was saying. Then moving right along. So today I'm just gonna focus on the construction and the consulting engineering. So before I go into details, I have never studied anything in construction, but I worked in the bank, working with home loans and so on. So that's how my passion came into construction. RTT consulting engineering, I am not an engineer, but I hire engineers, qualified engineers. So now, the power of collaboration, that's why today for me, my strategy is focusing on collaboration. So I collaborated with Broad Property Group nationally. So for me, I didn't say, Eish, now I'm gonna be scared. I approached that big company. I went to certain offices and I approached them to say, this is my company, and then this is what I've been doing. In the Free State, I was doing maintenance of the stadium. I moved away from the tender, you know. I went to the stadium, you know, stadium. You know, to say, don't be scared of challenges. I want to do something. Go stadium. So they gave me that opportunity. So every time after a game, when I get right begin, you know, that was me. And then how about electrical work? Because I have that CIDB electrical. I will come and fix, okay, there's electrical, whatever that needs to be to be fixed. So I've done that. So now, that was in Bloom. So now since I moved to Joburg, I'm like, okay, so in Joburg, who's big, in the property, and I'm like, okay, bro, what do they do? And then I researched, okay, this is what they do. And I approached them. I went to certain offices, Pilates Cavalry Mall. I'm like, okay, I want to see who's dealing with maintenance. And I'm like, this is me. Why? Because now my profile had that experience. And even if you don't have, you tell them, but who will give me experience? Actually, you must first help me by giving me experience. Give me smaller things so that I start somewhere. So that's what I've done. Then in terms of RTT consulting engineering, so for you to be an engineer, normally they'll ask that you must have 5 years experience in terms of your work. Obviously, if I started a new company, I will not have the experience. But what I've done, I went to IX Engineering. So I'm like, IX, I'm a woman, and I've had a consulting engineering company. And I know how to get business. I know how to maneuver, you know, how to market myself and so on. So I need you to partner with me. I actually, like, we never actually had somebody who came to us and approached us in that manner. And they're like, no, let's sign. Let's do. I'm like, okay, now I'll take the Free State and Northern Cape. But because they are experienced, any jobs that I've had, they were doing the job, and I'll still do, because I still have my own engineers, but there are certain things that I say, okay, I do this, and IX do this. Okay, I can't do the designs, but I'll do the tender document, you know, things like that. So, but that way you find a way of working together and not being greedy, because that's another thing. Because if you are willing, it's better to have 50%, 20% of a pie and share it with the others, rather than being 100% shareholder of a company that doesn't even have that 100% of a pie. So rather share that pie, or instead of being so proud I'm a 100% shareholder of what? Of nothing. Rather own a 20% and others bring the you know, what they can bring to that company. And that way, at least you'll be sharing 20% of a pie of something, you know? So then from the whole consulting to say, now, since I have engineers, and then now I'm with Water Icon. Water Icon, because most of my projects that I've done, they are water related. So now, Water Icon, they literally do water pump station, like do them, like they manufacture them. They do water chemicals. Those are the things that I use on my construction project. Then I'm like, okay, I'm approaching them as well. Then I go, using same strategy. This is me. I've currently been working in these municipalities. I've been working with water projects. And now I don't want to just buy products so that I can go and assist the municipality. I want to be part of manufacturing with them. And I'm like, nah, I'll be your partner in Free State and in Northern Cape, you know. And they're like, we actually don't even think about Free State. Oh, it's fine. You know, go and do your research and tell us how but we are in it. So now suddenly, I'm now a partner with Water Icon. And now we can go into manufacturing of something that I didn't even know. But because of collaboration, those are type of things that makes you, you know, come into industries without undermining yourself or undermining your knowledge to say, maybe I don't know it. You will know it, as long as you're willing to go deeper and understanding the industry. Lastly, in Northern Cape, because I needed somebody who's in the mines, because that's where they need water. They need clean water. Then there's a company, Tipper Trading, that has that is already on the database, because you can't go to Northern Cape to the mines if you are not locally, you know, all those things that mines are coming up with. But I partnered with someone. Why? Because this pie, it's enough for all of us. So now that gives me that mileage to also work in the mines, collaborating with another company. And now I brought through Water Icon and IX to say there's somebody that we also want to work with. And greedy does not help. Does not help at all. So rather share the pie. Rather, you know, combine whatever that you have so that you all have an end product. And then lastly, oh, yeah, that's what he was talking about. Hori, in collaboration, where is your strong point? You know, to say, now I already said, now I'm good in marketing, I'm good in getting business. So it's easy when I go and approach people to tell them, now this is what I'm bringing. And I'm sticking to it. And remember, once you brought in something to say, this is my strong point, people need to see it. So I can't say, now I'm going to bring clients and there's no clients. Listen, I make sure from all those companies, I'm bringing something. Why? Because Bonada bring expertise, Bonada engineering, but now I have my own value. Now I get strong on this. Then it's about building trust, because you can't work to the people that you don't trust. And any business is like a marriage. You know, you get married, you court, and then after courting, you're like, yeah, you know, we're doing well. I think we can go to take it to the next step, you know. And if it doesn't work, just like marriage, when I divorce, you divorce, and then you're like, you know, it didn't work out, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm a divorcee myself, and I'm still here. Then the value, that value, what is it? You know, that value, that's very important, you know, because now we're talking about the clients. I can say I'm good at this, but now what does our clients, what are they looking for? What value are we bringing? But from the partnership, because there are other things that you can do alone, And there are other things that's where you need partners in order for me to be able to achieve them. So I'm not saying everything will say, let's collaborate. I'm saying there are things that need partners, and there are services that you can actually do yourself. So when you do your plan, you will be able to answer that. And that, okay. So this is, I like this picture that you see there. So the yellow part is somebody who's in the renewable diesel. And for that person to be able to get that oil, you need a restaurant, you need somebody to collect waste, which is another revenue. You need oil storage, renewable diesel, distribution, and tracking. And this is how we must see our Kasi economy. This is the only way that is going to work, because once I start thinking on my own, then I'm lost. But once we start thinking like that, to say who's selling who can collect, who can benefit from waste, and so on, then you'll understand, Huri, we are actually sitting here with solutions. And that time we are thinking that, while we have solutions ourselves. But once we start working together as Kasi businesses, then we're creating that value chain. We're actually assisting all our businesses by working together. So that is very important. And then lastly, okay, before the last, so this is my advice for today. Progress is impossible without change. And those who can't change their minds cannot change anything. Yeah. So my last slide. So through collaboration, I had the first, remember I needed 5 projects in order for me to be able to go by myself as a consulting engineer. I needed 5. Now I have 5 projects. So I can now start applying by myself, not as a 30% of IX. Why? Because I did the first project in Gauteng for 75 million. I did the Masironyane project for 10 million. I have 3 projects that I'm doing in Mangaung. And now I'm also under Bloemfontein. Then the Session, which is the Northern Cape. Why? Through collaboration. So had I not collaborated with all those companies, there was no way my profile can now state all of these projects. So this is the importance of just showing, not because I believe in action than words, because I can come here and talk about, all of those things. But now it's easier to talk, what you can show. Oh, that's the product. That's the end goal of collaboration. So for today, honestly, my best advice I've already given to you, but the most important thing that you can learn from this is the importance of collaboration as Kasi business. Thank you.